This is Toledo Symphony Lab, a behind-the-scenes look at the world of classical music from WGTE Public Media and your Toledo Symphony. I'm Brad Cresswell, and joining me today in the studio are the Toledo Symphony's president and CEO, Zach Vassar. We also have the TSO's Director of Marketing, Vanessa Gardner, and a very special guest. I do have a fanfare for you that is... Please welcome Mary Bilyeu, who is food editor at The Blade, also known as Food Maven Mary, also known as Food Floozy, depending on your social media account.
My gosh, we have to be friends.
So this is our day before Thanksgiving special, so a huge welcome to you, and thank you for joining us, Mary.
Thank you so much. I've gone all over Northwest Ohio for almost 8 years now, and no one has ever played me a fanfare. I feel so honored and welcome.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the Symphony Way.
Absolutely.
I'll have to do this more often.
Absolutely. Well, you are the food editor at The Blade. Obviously, you do a lot of stuff with food.
Yes.
You and I have actually judged before here at GTE when we had the cupcake contest, I think it was.
Exactly, with the tied into the Great British Bake Off, which anybody who spends even 3 seconds with me knows is my great obsession in life.
Yeah.
My ringtone on my phone, if you were to call me, is the Great British Bake Off theme. So yes, you guys always have the best events.
What's your number? We're all going to call you at the same time.
We can sing it.
Yeah, we can hum it for you.
And so in the past, pre-pandemic, PC, pre-corona, you guys always hosted these wonderful bake-offs and with just gorgeous cupcakes and layer cakes and lovely things. So yes, we have made friends sitting around the table eating lots of sugar.
Yes,
I think
indeed.
the Tapa holiday party needs to be bake-off themed.
Yep.
Though I did have an epic coffee and walnut cake fail last weekend.
Oh.
Well, there was no gluten in it, so...
Was it the coffee or the walnut?
Yeah. It was hopeless.
Yeah. It just was a soup.
I was kind of hoping for the pumpkin bread pudding with the bourbon sauce that you did for Rough Draft Irish last year, but...
That was a good time, if I may say so. I mean, you've said magic words, pumpkin and bourbon,
Yeah, that's like a turducken only. You stuff it with bourbon. I didn't bring any treats like that to our little party today, but I did bring some saltine crackers. So
this is looking a little sparse next to bourbon.
This is your Halloween / Thanksgiving dinner.
That's right.
Exactly.
If this is your sense of bringing an appetizer, Brad, I think you've really, really left yourself short.
Yeah.
This is how to not get asked to do it again.
You'll notice that I added little turkey gobbles to all of our usual sound effects. So just so you know, Mary, that we don't usually have a turkey gobbling every time that I do one of these.
It's gonna be great next week when you forget to take those off.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about Nutcracker, and a turkey will still be here.
Well, there are leftovers. Speaking of which, Mary, I know that you're doing a lot of stuff with different kind of recipes. I want to get some advice from you for Thanksgiving, but first of all, why don't you tell us like what you've been doing in terms of food specials for Thanksgiving, right?
Well, for a food editor, the holidays start pretty much around September when you start looking at the calendar and seeing.
You know what? I've got some music. Let me bring it in for you. There we go. It's much better with this in the background, don't you think? Okay, start over.
That's
Ready?
more entertaining than I am.
I wouldn't say that. Okay, here we go. All right, hit it.
So, for a food editor, the holidays start probably around September. You start looking at the calendar. Where does Christmas fall? Where does Hanukkah fall? Is there any overlap? Because Thanksgiving and Christmaka are two of my favorite themes.
Wait, Thanksgiving? I can't even say that. How do you say it?
Thanksgiving.
It's Hanukkah when Hanukkah is early November or late November. Yeah.
Exactly. Hanukkah starts 3 days after Thanksgiving this year, so it was close, but not quite.
So Thanksgiving-ka?
Thanksgiving-ka.
Got it. I totally misspelled it here, but
that's okay. I'm sure there are about 15
there
different
is
ways
an
to
official
spell it.
spelling.
I love that. Thanksgiving-ka.
People can't even agree on how to spell Hanukkah, let alone Thanksgiving.
That's true.
So don't
That's
worry.
true, yeah.
Okay.
You create your own.
Yeah, is there a CH in that?
So back to leftovers. So you start thinking in terms of, where the stories are going to fall, how many stories you're going to do leading up to the holiday. And Thanksgiving is kind of nice, especially with the food page having moved to Sunday earlier this year. So if you wait until the Sunday before Thanksgiving, people have already ordered their turkeys, they've already done their baking, they've already started setting up their table and banning their kids and animals from the dining room. So I do 2 weeks. So the first story, which was on the 14th, was for how to use up leftovers. And I thought, well, what can you do with leftovers that hasn't already been done? We looked through social media. So poutine has been a big thing, and you've already got the turkey.
To my Canadian heart.
You've got the gravy.
My Canadian coronary arteries.
Do you have Canadian coronary arteries
I
too?
sure do.
I'm half Canadian.
I'm still thinking about Thanksgiving.
Poutine is a way more interesting topic.
Poutine is so much fun because you can make it your own.
Yeah. Now, tell us what poutine is again, just so we know. It's some weird Canadian thing.
Poutine is
delicious.
hand-cut fries.
Oh, that's right.
Double fried with brown gravy and cheese curds. That's the classic.
Oh.
But you can put a duck egg. You can put duck confit, turkey, stuffing. Oh, yes.
Whatever leftovers you have can get piled on and drowned in gravy, and it's just a glorious thing.
Gravy makes everything better, as my grandmother
true.
used to say.
You know it.
Yeah.
Very true.
Absolutely. What other kind of leftovers can you create from your Thanksgiving meal? I mean, poutine sounds wonderful, but is that a main course? Is that a go-to, or would you?
If
The
you're
way I eat
Canadian,
it,
would be,
yeah.
It would need to be. You won't need to eat for 3 more days.
After, of
I don't
course,
know.
eating enough for 4 days the day before,
Of
so you've
course.
eaten for an entire week in
Yeah,
only
but
2 days.
we're getting ready for winter. You gotta.
Last year
Gotta
I
build
took,
up that winter fur.
That's it.
I know the question was for Mary, but last year I took my Thanksgiving leftovers and I made a layered pie, like a pot pie.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it had the colorful layers of the cranberry sauce, the carrots, the turkey, the mashed potatoes, the stuffing. It was yummy.
That would be.
Yeah.
It's kind of like everything I put together on the plate anyway,
Yeah.
and just kind of mixed together, but
Exactly.
you've made a pie out of it.
It all works
Did
together.
you make
so
a crust? Like, did you make a full-on pie?
Yeah.
Like a topping?
Yeah.
Yep.
What? Yeah, a double crust.
Double crust.
Have you ever done like a reverse Thanksgiving where you eat the dessert course first,
No.
and then
no.
you save like the turkey and all that stuff for the end?
Bread, go in the corner.
Although my
that
son
doesn't
my
work.
son loves the turkey sandwiches. That's his favorite
Yeah.
part. He's always tried to get me to make the Thanksgiving meal, the big feast on Wednesday, so he can have all his leftovers, and then on the holiday itself, he wants that sandwich. He hasn't succeeded yet, but
Wow.
Okay, I have a question
Not
about
even
the
for
sandwich.
Thanksgiving, huh?
no.
Oh well.
So I would love to know what the perfect bread for a Thanksgiving leftover sandwich is. Is it white bread? Is it like Wonder Bread? Is like the chewiness of the bread a factor? Do you want a harder bread? Do you want a rye? What do you look for in a Thanksgiving leftover
If you're,
sandwich?
are you asking me as a food editor, or are you asking my personal opinion? Because there's two different
personal
answers.
opinion.
Personal opinion, it's about the only time, and not that I don't like white bread, but I know that other breads are more healthful and better for me. It is the one time of year where I celebrate the white bread.
Yeah.
And it can't be Wonder Bread. It's too soft. It's
Yeah.
too squishy.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold up because your proper Thanksgiving leftover sandwich should be like one of those New York deli sandwiches, about a foot
Big tall. Yeah, exactly.
And with the cranberry sauce and some stuffing and lots of turkey and everything crammed in it. So you've got to have that sturdy sort of country white or potato white bread that will not fall apart in your hands while you're trying to eat.
Do you toast it?
Personally, I don't.
Okay.
How about you?
I have never thought to toast it, but
Okay.
as you're talking about a good solid country white, I'm thinking that might taste good toasted. I'll try it this year. Maybe
There
I'll
we
do
go.
one
Do
slice
one of
toasted
each.
and one not. And I'll tell you which half of the sandwich tastes better.
There you go. There you go. Bravo.
Very nice. Very nice. I like that turkey gobbling. We may keep
we
it
may
in.
just keep
You
that.
should.
We may keep it in there. Well, I
Just
think
celebrate the holidays all
It
year round.
kind of
Yeah.
replaces the Mozart laugh.
That actually is
I
the
do
Mozart
have
laugh.
that. I have that here somewhere.
There it is. Yeah.
There we go.
Love
The
that.
gobbling Mozart. Yeah.
The gobbling Mozart.
I'm going to have a little Mozart later in one of our mini
Oh,
quizzes.
I bet you will. I bet you will.
But before we do that, we should do this Saltine Cracker Challenge because, we build it up amongst ourselves as to whether this is going to work or not.
We are professionals.
So we'll see. So what we've done...
Speak for yourself.
Now, the Saltine Cracker Challenge, the original Saltine Cracker Challenge was that you had to eat 6 saltine crackers in the space of 1 minute, right? And evidently, that's very hard to do.
It's a cracker every 10 seconds
Okay.
if I did my math right.
Yeah, or you could do it all at once and just pile them on top of each other and stick it in your mouth that way.
That's just silly.
A little
Get some
harder to
inspiration
do.
from Joey Chestnut and all the hot dog eaters at,
yeah.
at Nathan's
yeah.
on the 4th of
Oh,
July.
isn't it terrifying?
Exactly. Let me get my crackers.
Waka waka.
Okay, I've got my
waka.
crackers. So this is how we're going to do it.
All right.
We've got 4 crackers, okay? We're going to get the minute quiz music. Let me find that. Yeah, so we'll play that when it's time to start. You have to eat your 4 crackers within the space of that minute. And don't wash down with water. Well, I mean, you can, I guess, once you've eaten all the crackers. But the first person to whistle is the winner, right?
So so we can wash down with water after that?
After you've after you've eaten all the crackers.
Yeah.
Right?
But
After you've
So
eaten
you've
all
got to
the crackers.
earn the water by eating the crackers and whistling.
Exactly. I
Okay.
like that. Earn the water. You
So-
have to earn the water by
You can't drink the water until after you've whistled?
until after you've whistled.
Okay.
Oh, after you've whistled. See, that's a very important thing.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I wanted
Yeah.
to clarify, whether it's after the cracker or after the whistle.
Yeah. So
Can we
So
have
no
some-
washing the crackers down until you've whistled.
Can we pre-water? Can we?
no, you
goodness
can't do
sake.
that. No, you can't do that.
Good
We're
tactic.
stuck where we are right now. Okay.
Okay,
You
and
can-
Drooling at the idea.
And
I'm
I'm judging
getting
because these
the-
crackers are full of nasty gluten.
Yeah. Vanessa is unable to join us for this, so it's just going to be Mary,
drat.
myself, and Zach.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And,
Are we allowed to demask now?
As well, yeah, we can demask for this. It's okay. All right.
So that's what you look like.
If you-
Yes, exactly.
I think
After
it
all
would
these
be
years.
a better challenge if
You've
you
never
had to
seen.
whistle with your mask on.
Okay.
We have
All
enough
right, we
impediments
ready?
as it is.
So as soon as the music starts, and Vanessa, you can give us a go. Are you taping this?
I'm ready.
Okay, give me a go, Vanessa, and we'll start.
Go.
Oh, this is far away.
This is the quietest Zach has ever been.
Oh, it's okay. You can hear you chewing.
We should give Zach saltines more often on this show.
It's a great idea.
I've got 30 seconds left.
Oh, God.
The chewing is okay. It's the swallowing that's hard.
Okay. We're cutting it close here.
We're still eating. Hang on, I'm almost done. I did it. I did it, and it only took me a
Bravo.
little bit longer than a minute.
I'm still eating.
That's because you're a lady.
You would never know I do this for a living.
I earned my water. Nice. Okay.
Good
so,
job, guys.
I mean, we can do. Excellent. We can do more than one round if you guys want to have the tiebreaker.
I'm very impressed. I mean and congratulations to our listeners for making it through that dramatic moment.
Exactly.
Who's it going to be? That beautiful sound of chomping.
Yeah, that was great radio.
And now you get to listen to us smack our lips as we're trying to get the rest of these darn crackers out of our mouth.
Try to get our mask back on.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
here
can't get our
go.
earphones on, masks, microphones.
Yeah.
This is not a saltine-friendly environment. Cresswell.
Excellent.
Wow.
That
Well-
turned out just like I thought it would. It was fantastic. Just fantastic.
Successful programming here.
Yes, indeed.
Good radio.
Okay, so I won the Saltine Cracker Challenge.
Yeah, check for
Good
you.
to know.
Well, that's only because Merwin wasn't here.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what is your prize since it's your own quiz?
I don't know. I feel like I need like one of those little vacuum cleaners right now for all the saltine crumbs that are laying all over the place.
We invite people to play along.
Yeah. So you can play along at home.
Bring your own dustbuster.
Yes, indeed. Your own crackers, your own dustbuster, and,
Oh my
and
gosh.
you need the water afterwards. So yeah, I can see how hard that is, especially if you take more than one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But
I did 2 and 2. It was good.
How was your experience, Mary, with the Saltine Cracker Challenge? Have you ever done a challenge like that before?
If I have, it's been a long time. I felt a little like when you give a dog peanut butter and he's, trying to lick the peanut butter off of everywhere. And it
Yeah.
just
We'll do
not
that challenge
happening.
next week.
We'll save that.
Here's
Save
it.
that for the
In
next
front of you is a
podcast.
spoon of peanut butter. That's my impression of you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Zach, how was it for you? I was thinking you were done, but you weren't
I was. You had your hands up like this, so I thought I wasn't supposed to whistle.
really.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
No,
I
it was,
don't know
it was
about
good.
that.
It was
I was
good.
putting my hands up because I was getting ready to whistle.
Hey, host choice.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Well,
it was fun. Yeah, it was 2 at a time. It took about 30 seconds per pair. And I would say that next time you prepare appetizers, I would recommend at least a cheese.
Yeah, like a
Maybe a
squeezy
mustard,
cheese.
maybe a
Squeezy cheese.
Squeezy
brown
cheese.
No,
mustard.
I want charcuterie cheese.
Yeah.
or spray cheese.
Spray
I
cheese.
love that spray cheese stuff. Yeah.
Delicious.
We'll save that for next Thanksgiving. So, speaking of spray cheese, Mary,
Maybe the
There's
most
the transition.
elegant
Yeah.
transition of the year. Good thing we
speaking
made
of
it
spray
this far.
cheese,
Yeah.
let's talk about something completely different than spray
Yes.
cheese.
Yeah.
What else you got going on? You talked about the leftovers, but you
Yes.
also do some other stuff during Thanksgiving, right?
I have a really, really nice story from last Sunday, the 21st. Retired University of Toledo professor Russell Rising, who is just the most interesting person. Like, he should be doing the commercials, the most interesting man on earth. He's so much fun to talk to. He has a really interesting Thanksgiving tradition. And because as his family has grown and people have married and there's in-laws and distance and whatnot, rather than trying to force everybody to get there on the day and do the traditional turkey and trimmings, his family gets together on a Sunday and then they filter their traditional turkey and trimmings through different international cuisines. So they've done like turkey mole, they've done turkey gumbo with the appropriate side dishes, and this year was Germany, so they did turkey schnitzel.
Oh, wow.
I
Yes.
got some music for you. Okay. Turkey schnitzel.
You just had that
What else?
schnitzel anthem ready to go there?
I did.
I'm impressed.
Hey, I know what I'm doing here. So, you got a little schnitzel beer music in the background. What else was on the menu for that?
One of his favorite restaurants is in Chicago. It's the Berghoff restaurant. It's a German
Oh,
restaurant.
yeah. I've been there.
Oh,
That's wonderful.
there you go.
yeah.
So you know. Have you had the creamed spinach and the potato salad? Because
I
those
don't
are the
remember
sides.
because it would have been 30 years ago that I
Okay,
was there.
they were probably
but-
still serving it then.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So those are classics, and so that's what he decided he was going to make. And then different members of the family will round out the meal. And when I talked to him, they were still sort of determining who was making what. He's got a daughter-in-law who loves to bake. She's going to make a beautiful, complicated German torta, and so
Wow.
yeah.
I love it.
So
That
like we're all
sounds
inviting
so good.
ourselves over to
Yeah.
his house.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we think of, Thanksgiving as an American holiday, right? Because
Yeah.
it has to deal with our history as a country and what have you. But it's also something that, like you're talking about, bringing in all these different cuisines from around the world. It's a great opportunity to sort of sample, what's going on in the food culture of other countries. Mary, let me ask you, what are you doing at your place for Thanksgiving?
After having 2 Thanksgivings already and,
Yeah.
and having already started Christmas stories,
I mean, you knew this
as we
was
sit here and
coming.
talk,
Yeah.
I am personally Thanksgiving out. We're having macaroni and cheese.
Wow. Macaroni and cheese.
We're just going to cut to everybody's favorite side dish and have macaroni and cheese.
That's amazing.
So what are you guys doing?
Do you still have the Thanksgiving gravy on top of the mac and cheese? Because sometimes those things
Are
do
we
go well
talking
together.
mac and cheese poutine style here, or?
We are talking classic. My first year here back in 2014, I did a really, really lovely story about two different foster mothers who have taken in a lot of kids over the years, particularly some who've been through really traumatic circumstances, and one of the ways they help to build trust is through food, and so Miss Maggie makes this legendary mac and cheese. It's like 2 pounds of cheese, so it's twice as much cheese as there is macaroni, and it's just an amazing thing. It bubbles up and over the casserole dish, and it's just yes.
So
you
this
can make
is
it gluten free. It'd be amazing.
This is not like what you get in the box and add milk and
it's
water.
not-
This
it's
is
not
like
craft dinner.
okay.
No. This
Nor-
is
nor is it-
celebration-worthy mac
nor
and
is it
cheese.
Orange,
Okay.
orange ooze cheese. or
Yeah.
whatever you
I
call
feel
it.
better now.
Although, doesn't everybody have a little soft spot for that little blue box, though?
Yeah,
Like a
I-
little
I
nostalgic
guess,
moment?
yeah.
Yeah, I'll make it for my daughters and enjoy a wooden spoonful of two or
Yes.
two. Yeah. But my sister Bridget just told me that Stouffer's started making little cups of like single servings of their macaroni and cheese, which,
Oh.
if you put enough butter on top of it, is a very passable pastime.
Passable. Well, there's an endorsement.
Well, back in college, I remember we used to get free government cheese because we weren't making any money, and we would go out en masse and get these big blocks of government cheese. And what do you do with it? But we made macaroni and cheese because mac was, inexpensive to buy the noodles.
Exactly.
And I'm not sure to this day what kind of cheese it
That's
was.
gonna be my question. Yeah.
Whether it was American cheese or cheddar or what, it was sort of an ethereal kind of in between, stranger
products.
things.
It sounds like it's still with you, maybe.
Yeah, like the upside down
Haunting.
cheese. I don't know, but I have fond memories of it just because of the circumstances. Yeah, I don't remember. I do remember having to spend 1 or 2 Thanksgivings, at school, not being able to come home from college or what have you. So I had to fend for myself. Let me ask you, Mary. Let me get you to. I'm going to switch the music here.
Oh, okay. I have my own soundtrack. Can I have
Yeah.
like a mixtape of this?
Totally. You're going to have your Mary Bilyeu mixtape. And we'll make that available for those of you that want to follow in Mary's
You can download
Food
it free.
Maven.
It's a
food,
fundraiser.
9
Fundraiser
cents.
for
Yes.
public television.
Yes. The Food Floozy is here with us today. Now, we're going to talk about advice. This is your advice column, right?
Okay,
Like
sure.
Dear Food Floozy
Sure.
or Food
I'll do my
Maven or
best.
whatever you want to be called.
I'm impressed that you said food floozy without stumbling over it. It's a bit of a tongue
It
Food
is a tough.
floozy.
It's a little tough.
Yes, indeed. I practiced. That's the secret. That's the key to being
Flute
able to
fusing.
talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
it's the key to talking.
The key to talking is practicing. The key to talking is actually talking. So,
Yes.
let me ask your advice. What do you do when you're on your own? Do you have any good one-person meals? Because you don't want to cook a whole turkey. You're going to be eating it for
Speak
the
for
next
yourself,
month.
man. There you go. That's right, because you make that turkey, then you get the days of leftovers. You don't have to cook.
Yeah,
My-
I'll make
my number
sandwiches for your son, and we'll.
There you go. He'll be your best friend. My number one recommendation is don't feel bound by tradition unless you feel bound by tradition. Just because, society says it's turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes and whatnot, don't feel that you have to do that. If you just want to make, say, Russell's turkey schnitzel that he's serving for his German Thanksgiving, that's
Yeah.
a really nice single portion kind of thing. Or you could just roast a turkey breast. But if you
Or
want to
mac
go
and
my route
cheese.
and just have mac and cheese,
Yeah.
who is to say? Who is there to judge you and say you can't do that?
As long as you're thankful for what you have.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. There's a saying, be thankful for dirty dishes. It means you had food.
That's nice. I'm going to write that down. I might actually go the mac and cheese route this year. We'll see if I can find a really good mac and cheese recipe.
Miss Maggie's.
Miss Maggie's.
At ToledoBlade.com. Look for Miss Maggie's mac and cheese.
Miss Maggie's. Is that
So if
part
I'm
of
feeling
your
if
column?
if I ever get the crackers out of my teeth, I'll try to send it. Yeah. But right now I'm spending all my time trying to get the crackers out of my
Yeah.
teeth.
I do have a bottle of water sitting there if you need it.
Mac and cheese has never been a part of our holiday traditions in my family.
So what will you be serving?
Well, I'm having Thanksgiving with my best friend, and I think we'll be pretty traditional. But then we go rogue for Black Friday, and we have
really?
a Black Friday cocktail party.
Oh, nice.
and
We're all inviting ourselves to your house too.
Well,
Yeah.
it'll,
Russell on Thursday, your house on Friday.
it'll be Massachusetts, so
I'll bring the
Road trip.
It's worth it.
it is worth it.
Is there a Miss Maggie's cocktail to go with it?
Not
The
that I
mac and
know of.
cheese?
Not
No,
that
but
she
there are
shared.
plenty of Miss Vanessa cocktails.
But how do you what pairs well with mac and cheese? Like, what do you think? I mean, I'm mostly a
beverage-wise?
bourbon drinker or a red wine drinker.
I think it's
maybe.
got to be something that will cut the richness.
yeah.
I think a red wine would be good.
Red wine.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
I had
so
some
far,
red wine with
Yeah, I think
sounds
you just
like you had
yeah.
some already.
with
Thanks,
a
Elmer
really
Fudd.
rich curry soup
Yeah.
a couple nights ago, and it cut that down. It was very, very lovely.
That does sound really lovely.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got mac and cheese and red wine. What else is
Hey.
going on my Thanksgiving menu here?
Any vegetables?
Well, mac and cheese is a vegetable,
Oh,
right?
right. Totally.
Wow. I have never enjoyed a green bean casserole, and I'm not a big fan of green beans. But what am I missing? Is there some subtlety that I just don't get?
Did you grow up with it?
Yeah.
Okay, because usually
Yeah.
that's the secret.
Is that the problem?
I've tried
Familiarity.
making.
My mother is listening.
Well, I've tried making, like with the more glamorous versions, like making your own bechamel sauce,
Okay.
or using the fresh green beans. And there's something about the frozen green beans and mushroom soup, just that there's a charm to it. Like, I'm the only one in my family who'll eat it, and I will make the casserole, and I will just eat it for several days. There's just something about it that is just comforting. And so I find that people who don't like it generally didn't grow up with it. If you grow up with it and you still don't like it, maybe you need to do the more glamorous version with the fresher ingredients. But I just think it's got a little sort of a, I don't know, comfort food charm the original way.
Did you have some sort of traumatic childhood experience?
Well, I'm
that
trying to
was-
think through that because the memories are usually what will come back when you have a food that harkens back to holidays
Yeah.
past, and even if you don't like the food, it will make you think of those memories. So maybe I just need better memories.
And then and double the French fried onion topping.
Oh yeah,
That's
and
the
there's
key.
like a vinegary taste to it, right? Yeah, because I remember growing up, I used to have it. My
It just
mom
always
used to
feels
make
like the
that.
thing you take a spoonful and there's just like a puddle of water underneath that seems very unappetizing.
A
There's a
puddle
little too
of
much
water.
liquid
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Cut
Well,
back
yes.
on some of the milk.
So, Mom, if you're listening,
Sorry, Mom.
And
Yeah.
defrost the green beans.
Yeah,
that was
defrost
a
the green beans,
green
that's the other
bean
part.
fail, definitely.
We've had some fails. My family, so I'm the youngest of 9 children.
Oh, wow.
And I'll never forget, it was Thanksgiving, I want to say 25 years ago. Everybody came home, we were having a lot of fun. It got really late, and the turkey was not cooking, and we realized far too late, maybe about 10 o'clock, that it was on preheat, and it was never turned to bake, and the oven turned itself off.
Oh, no.
Oh,
The
wow.
funny thing is that we kept basting a naked turkey.
And nobody noticed.
Nobody
You'll
noticed
get
that there was no
worms.
heat coming out of the oven. So you can probably
How
surmise
many,
a
how
few
many
things.
Thanksgiving cocktails did you guys
Yeah,
have?
a few, quite a few. But I think that was the year we ate Thanksgiving dinner the day after Thanksgiving because it was after midnight.
Wow.
And I hope you went out to get a new turkey.
I can't say we did.
Oh, God. And he lived to tell the tale.
Wow. I hope you cooked it to 165 or whatever it needs to be.
I can't explain what happened there. But
Yeah.
it's a famous part of my family's history.
It's a Thanksgiving miracle.
Thanksgiving
That's
miracle,
amazing.
right? Yeah.
Well, Mary, before we let you go, I know when I first asked you to come and do this special with us, your first thought was, you weren't a classical music expert, and you certainly don't have to be, because the people that listen
Yeah,
to the
we're on the
podcast
show.
are not. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because we're pretending to be food experts. You can at least
yes.
pretend to be a
We
classical
play
music.
one on the radio, right? As it
I
goes.
may
So-
be more of a food expert than a music expert by this point.
Interesting.
Well, I normally have a quiz that's associated with each of our episodes, so I did
All
a
right.
little sort of a nod to a quiz here, which has a classical music component. So I would say just guess, right? And you'll probably have a 1 in 3 chance of
Usually doesn't work for me.
of getting
Oh, God, this could be.
every one. But let me pull
I could
up
embarrass
a little.
myself greatly.
That's okay. That's what we're here for. So this piece of music has kitchen utensils going on. Right, well, that's not a kitchen utensil.
That's the funnel.
Yes, it's a highly talented spatula or whatever. Okay.
That's the baster.
So this quiz is to match the composer with their favorite meal. So I'm going to give you a meal
All right.
and 3 composers, and you tell me which one loved to eat that meal. All right? Very easy. There's only a few of these. First one is liver dumplings with sauerkraut, which actually sounds pretty good.
Whoa.
Yeah, put a little gravy on it, it'll be fine.
Poutine.
Was that Mozart? Now, I don't think there was a composer named Poutine, but it sounds like there should be.
Yeah, he wrote La Bohème, Puccini.
Yeah, Poutini. No, that was the magician who had escaped from precarious situations. I wish I had some of those talents
Yeah,
as well.
he was in De Flightamas.
Yes, we can keep going all day with this. Okay, liver dumplings. Liver dumplings with sauerkraut. Okay, was that Mozart, Haydn, or Schubert? Mozart, Haydn, or Schubert?
Are we
You can
yelling
go
it out?
ahead. You go ahead and say if you
I'm gonna
think you
say
know.
Schubert.
That would be.
Okay.
Haydn.
That would be.
Mozart?
Yeah, all right. Mary gets that one.
That was actually going to be my first guess, but I was being polite. So
Yeah.
There's no polite here.
Okay, this one is interesting, and this has actually popped up on a quiz before. This person loved any food as long as it was white. Okay, so for example, they would eat eggs, sugar, animal fat, salt, coconuts, white cheese, white fish, even shredded bones. As long as it was white, that's what their diet was, okay?
I remember this question. I don't remember the answer.
Yeah, well, you may remember it when I give you a few different, options here. But Mary is looking very disturbed
horrified.
right now. Yes. Okay. So, who followed this diet? Was it John Cage? Was it George Antheil? Or was it Eric Satie? What do you think, Mary?
Going on gut feelings, I would say Cage, but I'm really just guessing.
Any
Good
other
guess.
guesses? They also had a fondness for making up weird names for their little pieces of
All right,
music.
that would be Satie.
Yeah. Eric Satie. Okay.
You know what else he liked? Chicken Satie.
Yeah. You had to get the gobbling trombone in response to that one. Okay, our next question. Royal Jelly Honey. Who brought Royal Jelly Honey with them almost everywhere they
Sorry,
went?
is it
Because
Jolly or Jelly?
Jelly Honey.
All right.
Jolly Honey is something else. That comes out just at Christmas time, right? Or for Thanksgiving, one or the other. So, okay, here's a list of 3 composers. You tell me which one loved Royal Jelly Honey. Was it Pyotr Tchaikovsky? Was it Igor Stravinsky? Or was it Modest Mussorgsky? Tchaikovsky, as you know, wrote the Nutcracker. Stravinsky wrote all kinds of stuff. Mussorgsky wrote.
Only wrote the
Mussorgsky wrote.
Stravinsky wrote more than one thing.
Yeah, Night
And
on
music
Bald Mountain.
and other party favorites.
Yeah, exactly. Other party favorites. So I'm trying to help Mary out here. So, make
Somebody help me
classical
out.
music seem a little more inviting, right? For instance, if
I
you
love
were
it. I just don't know anything about it. Like I grew up in New York City, so we always went to see the Nutcracker. That was one of my cherished childhood
Yeah.
memories, is going to see the Nutcracker.
Isn't
I'm just
Royal
not
Jelly
knowledgeable.
Honey one of the Act
One of
2
the characters?
That's
Yeah.
right. Coffee, tea,
The
and Royal
Nutcracker.
Jelly Honey.
No, actually, this has nothing to do with Nutcracker. So let's scratch that off the
That's
list.
next
It's
week.
not Tchaikovsky.
I'm gonna say Mussorgsky.
You're gonna say Mussorgsky. That would be okay. What do you say,
I'm
Mary?
just gonna think that maybe the answer is quite obvious now.
What do you
Perhaps
say?
Stravinsky. I don't know. Let me think some
Stravinsky,
more.
yeah. Totally Stravinsky. All right, Mary wins that one.
I do.
Mary's doing great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got
So-
a good handicap here. Like,
Zach has 1, Mary has 2. Okay.
I do.
I do.
Yeah. So
Okay,
here we
Satie.
go.
Yeah.
Now, this person loved a whole turkey stuffed with truffles.
Ooh.
That was their idea.
White or black?
Good question.
Because it could be satine.
No. Okay, a whole turkey stuffed with truffles. They wanted the whole thing to themselves. Was it Gioacchino Rossini? Was it George Frederick Handel? Or was it Johann Sebastian Bach? So all three of these composers rather corpulent. One of them retired fairly early, and this person said that they only cried 3 times in their life. Once when their first opera was a fiasco, the second time when they heard Paganini play, and the third time when sailing to a picnic lunch and seeing a turkey stuffed with truffles fall overboard. So that was one of the things that made them cry. So was it Rossini, Handel, or Bach? What do you say?
I got nothing, so I'm going to throw out Rossini. Oh, yes.
Totally.
Natural over here.
Gioacchino Rossini, he wrote a bunch of operas, and he retired from writing operas when he was like at the end of his 30s, lived for another 30 years, give or take, and basically just ate for the rest of his life.
That'll keep you going.
That's how I want to go out.
Mostly turkey stuffed with truffles, so he's the perfect Thanksgiving composer, right?
Health food.
So
who's putting truffles in their Thanksgiving stuffing now?
I
Now I
might
am.
now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mary wins that one. So I do have a bonus round, Zach, so you can lose either right
Even
now
more?
if we stop, or you can lose more, or Vanessa, you can get on the board if you get this one.
Yeah, this is not a gluten-free quiz. I mean, Vanessa can absolutely.
Yeah, well, this particular question is gluten-free. It could be gluten-free. It could be gluten-free. Which of these composers was a vegetarian? Was it Richard Wagner? Was it Giuseppe Verdi? Or was it Giacomo Puccini, or Puccini, as we said earlier?
I'll super guess Verdi.
You were saying that because Verdi is green and green is vegetable?
Exactly.
All right, I was with you on that.
You get 2 buzzers for that. What do you guys think? Neri, you want to take a stab at it?
Puccini.
No, it's not poutine. It is...
Wagner was a
knows this.
vegetarian?
He actually came out in support of vegetarianism, and
But
evidently...
that doesn't mean he was a
His
vegetarian.
wife said, even though he claimed that he was a vegetarian in spirit, Cosima, his wife, said that he was not a vegetarian in practice.
Yeah, no way.
I mean, you can't write The Ring and
Yeah.
without a little bit of protein.
Of all of his moral dilemmas,
I was going to say, that's not the one
not
you would
eating
get right.
animals doesn't seem like the one.
But he was very much influenced by Schopenhauer, who was very much against slaughter of animals for food.
It's like,
and Wagner wrote about this, in support of vegetarianism, and it had a huge influence on Mahler, on Gustav Mahler. Right? Because there's our Mahler bell.
Thank you.
Mary, every
Yeah.
time that
Ma
we
bell.
say the name Mahler,
Okay.
we play that bell. Don't ask me why.
Tradition. That's what
Tradition.
holidays are all about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
I'm
Mahler
surprised, yeah.
became a vegetarian when he was young. That didn't last
It did
for
not
long
last
either.
Yeah.
But,
I did
but-
not know that was Wagner's influence on him,
Yeah.
or Schopenhauer's.
Yeah, I was reading Wagner by way of Schopenhauer. So, Mahler was a grandson of philosophy in that way.
I'm very disappointed that Beethoven is not on this list, given the topics of conversation today.
I'm disappointed that Liszt isn't on this list.
Do you guys know what Beethoven's favorite food was?
Wine?
Food.
Food.
Hang on a second. Hang on. Okay. Beethoven's favorite food.
Mac and cheese.
Seriously?
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, seriously?
Yes. Absolutely seriously.
You know why?
Wow.
Because he couldn't hear himself chew. Are they watching us over there?
Yeah, they totally.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
No, they
All
can't
right.
hear us. There's people in the other room over there just watching us do the show. That's okay. Hopefully, some
And they're
people
having
are.
so much fun, we want to
That's right.
join too.
Yeah. Hopefully, some people are listening.
So, Mary, what's your biggest Thanksgiving fail?
Oh, that's a good one. I want to hear that.
That you would professionally claim. I'm sure that there's some that you might
Let
not.
me switch the music for you.
I don't know. My holidays are always just so non-traditional. I suppose not having like the Norman Rockwellian, turkey and stuffing and everything would be my biggest fail, because I don't think I've ever had like all the generations
standard,
around
yeah.
the family and everything.
You've never snuck out to like Boston Market for your Thanksgiving feast or something like that.
Hey, now
No.
that's what I did last year.
Yeah,
They have good mac and cheese, by the way.
Good to know.
Yeah.
well, all
Okay.
right. Can I ask two procedural questions? Number one, have you ever made or eaten a turducken?
I was actually, before I moved here back in Ann Arbor, I was sent a turducken for professional testing and cooked it, and it's something you have to experience at some point. It's just so indulgent, and it's rich, and it's just so over the top.
Do you agree with the sequence? I mean, size has something to do with the
Yes.
You really
sequence,
put
but
some thought into this, didn't you, Zach?
I always think the duck should go all the way on the inside so that it becomes fattier, not in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And leave
Except
the oven
that the
off
duck
all
fat
night.
then.
The duck fat goes into the
Yeah.
Mary.
Helps
And
tenderize.
when you leave the oven off all night, it gives it that added,
There you go.
That air of mortality.
Air of
Exactly.
truffles.
that extra oomph, as
All
it
right.
were.
Somebody suggested last year, and I really like the idea, taking your leftover stuffing and making waffles out of it the next day.
That would be a good time. I've seen that, and I keep thinking someday I'm going to try that.
I would love it if you
Because the
did.
best part is, when you take the stuffing out from the turkey, and I'm not a dressing on the side person, because it needs to be basted by all the turkey juices.
Okay, so you're stuffing in the turkey.
in the
All right, That
turkey.
is a great controversy of Thanksgiving preparations.
Yes, but it gets more flavor if you
It does,
put it
absolutely.
in the turkey.
Yeah.
But the best part is that little crispy part right at the edge where you get the tender stuffing from inside and the crispy edge. And so if you make the waffles, you get all the little nooks and crannies and edges, and you put your gravy on top. It looks so stellar. And someday, maybe this will be the year I do it.
Well, if you do, I want to know that recipe.
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah. When is your cookbook coming out, Mary?
I'm working on it in all my
It's
spare
available
time.
on Black Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a couple days.
Black Friday.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
What a fun conversation this has been. Thank you so much
This
for
has
coming
been
in.
great fun. Thank you all so much.
Well, thank you
Yeah.
for being here.
And we want to remind everybody of how to connect with you online, Mary. So you on Facebook, you have a page that is Food Maven Mary,
Right.
Food Maven Mary on Facebook. On
And it's
Twitter.
the same on Twitter and on Instagram.
Okay, then where do I get Food Floozy on Twitter? Is that
That's my old blog
Oh,
from
okay.
before I moved here. So
But
my
it sounds
rationale
much
for
more-
calling it Food Floozy is that floozy is a woman who can be seduced by any man, and a food floozy can be seduced by any food except for sushi. I don't do sushi. Don't like
you
sushi
don't
at
do
all.
sushi? Wow, that's a whole nother episode right
Yeah,
there.
we can't leave it at that. I think that, yeah. We'll have to have you back and talk about
Okay.
I would love that.
Well, I promise not to have sushi for Thanksgiving. That,
It's your Thanksgiving. You can do what you want.
that. Yeah, turkey, spicy turkey tuna rolls.
yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
thinking no sushi for Thanksgiving. Maybe the sake, we'll see. But or I'll save that for Black Friday.
Sake to me.
Yeah, yeah. I knew there was a laughing Richard Nixon joke on the way there. People of a certain generation.
I was going to say you're not
will
even
know.
old enough to remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
yeah. Mary Bilyeu is the food editor at the Belade, and also was so nice to come join us today on Toledo Symphony Lab. Mary, huge well wishes for Thanksgiving tomorrow to you and yours, and to everybody listening here as well. We want to really extend our thanks to everybody who has not only helped to make the program possible, but who listen to it and who enjoy and appreciate everything that we do. This program is a production of WGTE Public Media in collaboration with our sponsor, the Toledo Symphony, with generous support from the Rita Barber Kern Foundation. You can download episodes of our show as a podcast by going to our website at wgte.org/lab, or you can subscribe to us through your podcast app of choice, including Apple and Google Podcasts. Also, check out all the upcoming events at the Symphony by visiting their website, ToledoSymphony.com, and their various social media outlets on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can find the TSO's streaming platform online at stream.artstoledo.com. My thanks to Zach Vassar, Vanessa Gardner, and our special guest, Mary Bilyeu. I'm Brad Cresswell. You've been listening to Toledo Symphony Lab from FM 91.